Well, hello, Sagittarius. This is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. It is absolutely 150% an energy reading, so apply it to your vibe, man. Apply it to just because you're called to see it. If you haven't yet, please, Sagittarius, subscribe to the channel and then ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload all your favorite content. Sagittarius comes out every single Tuesday, but we have all 12 zodiac signs, so check them out. If you want to join me for the extended reading, the extended reading link is as traditional down below. Or you can join the Unbound membership, and I want everybody to join, baby. What does that mean? It means that you are now a part of a very, very unique little group. No, it's 100%. It's just a bunch of fun. Yeah, we gather together and we shoot the shit and we talk, and you can ask me any tarot card questions you want because I do 2 lives just for you guys every single week. And if you need me to help you understand your natal chart, I'll help you, whatever. Like, it's like legitimately having me in your back pocket. Plus, you get full access, unlimited access to the extended readings. So check out that membership, dude, and join. And then, yeah, I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, so I'm going to start out with astrology, and then we'll get into the cards. You ready? Astrologically speaking, your 3rd house took a huge energy impact. Not in a bad way, but it's going to, like, boom. You're going to feel it. And this has got to do with short-term or, short-distance travel, friendships, conversations between 2 people, communications, education, learning. Venus and Mars entered at the same time between Saturday and Sunday, depending on where you are on the globe. Both Venus and Mars in conjunction moved into Aquarius, and that is your 3rd house. It's your 3rd house of, like I said, short distance travel. I wouldn't be surprised if you were all of a sudden called to go somewhere, or your friends needed you for something, or you needed your friends for something, or you're going to start to, like, commute somewhere, or in order to learn something, you're going to start new education program and you're going to commute to it. There's just definitely a commitment to getting it done and doing it, and knowing that this is the time to change your life and take the steps that you need to I don't know, man, get smarter, do something, talk to people. I think that's the foundation of what's going to be happening to you, is you're going to be talking to people. Friends, I have this feeling. And it could be something that you don't necessarily want to deal with, but ultimately you have to. You have to, because it's like Jesus is judging. I mean, no, it's like God has given you an assignment, and you got to level it up. You got to step it up. And for the next 2 days, both Mercury and Saturn are squared to the nodes. So ultimately, it's about, you need to think this through, figure this shit out, make this plan, high understanding and recognition of, this is when my life changes. Like this, when I decide I've got to do it, I've got to get this done. It's got to make sense. I want to get it done to the highest standard. And it's almost like raising your standards in a way. But what does that have to do with your 3rd house? Because your 3rd house is still in Aquarius, which is all about friendship and humanitarianism. So it's almost like elevating yourself to do things locally or in terms of your community to help people out, or to educate yourself and learn about groups, because groups are the key to success right now, Sagittarius. Let's get into... You ready? Yeah. Let's get into your card reading. Sagittarius, please. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Oh, you guys are just serving it up little by little, huh? Lay a solid foundation. This is Virgo energy. What does that mean? Well, I mean, this is very congruent, I would say, with Gemini energy, in that it's about dedicating yourself. It's about making a dedication to something that's steady over time and that comes in increments. It could be a new job. It could definitely be a new class. It could be deciding that you're going to write or create something that's written or create something that extends into communications, doing the due diligence every single day, putting the work in, doing the administration, setting something up administratively, like getting all the paperwork in. Now, this is not an energy that goes well with who you are, right? You could care less about the freaking details, right? But ultimately, not now. Somehow, and it's not somehow, it's because of all this power and all this energy. You now have what feels like a superpower for you to actually have patience for this shit and get it done and make moves through this steady, progressive, scheduled kind of rhythm, kind of commitment. Let's go further, because this is just scratching the surface. This could also be you taking huge steps, not huge, but steady steps toward getting yourself healthier, toward learning about your health and putting the strategies in place so that you can actually develop and maintain your health, mental, physical, emotional. It doesn't matter. Sagittarius. Now we have trust in divine detours. This is your energy. So something took a detour, or you made a change, because this is your energy. You made a change. This is in the past, maybe up to a year ago. Definitely a change, because something happened to you to make you need to make the change. It's like it veered you in a different direction, but it's like, trust it. I'm not going to fight this. I'm not going to argue with it, because ultimately I see the wisdom in it, or I see that it's the path that I have to be on. It's almost like, yeah, God done saved your life. This is a while ago though, right? Starfish, open to infinite possibilities. This is Aquarius energy, right? You were open to the change. You were also open to the possibility that, yeah, I could do better. Or yeah, this does have to change. Or yeah, like I definitely need to not block this. It's almost like the shift happened at just the right time. But this is you. It's almost like you wanted better. You decided, I'm going to make a change because I want more, because I deserve more. Okay? This is in the past. The abundant universe will provide is here. So in other words, the universe provided anything and everything that you needed in order to make this switch, make this change, or make this path actually very smooth for you. So ultimately, I think it was you not fighting with yourself and you not arguing. It was just you going along with it, and how easy and smooth that abundance started to pour into you once you allowed everything out of its space. Now, this could also be, okay, let me just keep going. Be at home. This has to do with fourth house energy. It could also mean something to do with a house, something to do with a home, something to do with a place that you live. Yeah, I think you just started taking more steps on realizing I can do so much more. I can be so many different places. I don't have to be stuck here. It's like you started to make steps toward making your house something different than it had been. Okay? And then time to heal. That's coming up. We've got two energies now that have to do with healing. It's almost like you had to make changes to your house, or changes to where you live, or changes to how you live. Like these changes hit home because there was toxins that needed to come out of you, that needed to be addressed, right? It's also a sense of you needed to heal from things that had happened in your fourth house. And we learn everything when we're growing up, and we absorb it as if it's all true. And this is a sense of kind of reckoning, a way to go back to almost a specific moment of time and make it better, because now you're making the decision and you have the experience and the understanding of the situation to know what actually works for you instead of what was just going on at the time, or what somebody else had decided for you. Really not the same thing, right? Right. And you know that. Now lay a solid foundation today, here and now. This is about you deciding, you've laid a solid foundation of what you actually want, of your healing, of making yourself better, self-improvement, or even home improvements. This could definitely like represent not just your body, but also the place that you live in, since this fourth house energy is here. Okay, I want to just grab a moon card. Sagittarius, 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 Sagittarius. We have a win-win outcome is forecast, and the answers you need are coming. And then we have conclusions are within reach. I don't know, dude. What were your questions? So if there were medical tests, oh, sorry about that. If there were medical tests, if there were decisions like in terms of law or whatever, law or any kind of higher thought, like medicine, law, like whatever it is, if like those things are coming back to you. This is your Gemini energy. So you have Libra energy, then you have the answers you need are coming, Gemini energy. So this is air energy. This is all about communications about something that justice that had to be served, or communications about something that you needed to understand and maybe didn't make sense to you, and now they're able to balance out. It's decisions that were made, answers about a decision that was made, so that you 1111, so that you can actually put something to rest. Conclusions are within reach. I don't know what's been going on, but this definitely has something to do with law. It has to do with, I have tons of paperwork in my mind. And of course, the health issues are here. So ultimately, these results are coming back. So you're going to be able to, okay, so what are we going to get from these results? What are we going to get from these results? Yes, this can be about somebody that's in your life too, especially if they're a Virgo, but chop wood. Okay, this could be about work, because it has been work. In other words, you've been working on something. So maybe you went back you've been working on something, Sagittarius. You may have gone back to take the test again. And maybe you didn't tell nobody, right? But ultimately, because you've been working on something and you continue to work on something, you wanted to see had things changed. So this is the question, have things changed? The tribe is here. I don't know what the fuck that means, but ultimately, finding belonging. So what is this about? This is about you working on something where you know you belong, to be around people who are more like you, to be around people who will accept you, or finally being accepted into a place, an institution, or whatever. You went back and you took those tests again because you've been working really hard on this shit. And ultimately, what is the outcome? The outcome is 8. It's going to work out for you. You're going to like be welcomed in. You got a whole new tribe. What does that mean though? Like, yes or no? Did they get in? Do they get it? I don't know. Sagittarius. Mental conflict and choose wisely. The fuck is that? I'll figure it out. Mental conflict, choose wisely. Okay. Well, this is definitely saying that there are a lot of choices ahead of you, right? And you want to make the right ones. But also, you want to have all the choices. And I think that was part of the mental conflict. You want to have the choices that you want to have. You don't want to have to sit around and just be limiting yourself to whatever choices somebody else gave you. You want the world open for you. But ultimately, there's just this sense of, I don't know. So let's keep going. What does this mean, though? I need to know what the hell this is. You didn't tell me shit. What do you mean mental conflict? Choose wisely. Do they get it? What is going on? See, a while ago, you talked to somebody who gave you bad advice. Or not bad advice, but ultimately, it's almost like the messages weren't clear. And I think that in some ways, you were made to feel like you had make a choice, and you didn't. Right? And that's what, chop wood is about, is like keep working on something. You're not actually you weren't actually backed into a wall here. You actually do still have a choice here. Right? Something to do with work. What do you want them to know about work? What do you want Sagittarius to know about work? I think you're still conflicted about a decision you made about work. What has this got to do with it? This is in the past, underlying energy. Prosperity begins. So in the past, like, there was no hope of you even getting this, or like you remember, it's like almost like, yeah, there was no hope, you were broke, bullshit, right? I don't know why that's coming up now, but ultimately it's like, I feel like that's the past. I get it. Okay, that's the poison from the past. You remember how it felt to be broke ass. You remember how it felt to have no fucking opportunities in front of you. And now that you have all these opportunities in front of you, or that you had a really good position, you don't want to make any choices that would rock that boat or would risk something getting fucked up. That's your stress. You've been stressing about something regarding work because you don't want to feel the way you used to feel when you were broke ass. You felt like you had nothing. You've earned this, right? You've worked really hard for this, but you're conflicted because, like, do I move away from it? I don't know, do you? Base chakra, where do you make your roots? There's something about roots here that keeps coming up. You got to make your roots where your heart is. Like a stop, go, red, green. You saw it right away, right? The sense of stop. Where do you want to root? What really matters to you? Let your heart help you understand what really matters to you, or where you want to root yourself, where you want to be long term. Sacrifice. You got to give up something, an emotional loss. You're giving up something. You're giving up something that I think that you're not really convinced that you want to sacrifice yet. You're not really completely ready for it. But at the same time, you're like, you're feeling stupid for not feeling stupid. Yeah, it's like it's like I'm not ready for it, but I can't let it go yet, but everybody else is kind of like moving in the other direction, and I want to go with them. I want to be with my tribe. I want to be with my family. I want to be with my people. I want to be with the people that I belong with, right? But you made a decision to kind of like not do that, or to like stay behind or something like that. Maybe probably because of work, because you don't want to sacrifice that feeling of, but I've achieved this and I've come this far. So ultimately there's just that sense of like conflict. Or there's a sense of maybe you've grown apart from something and you don't really want to accept that, but ultimately you're staying behind and not choosing to join the tribe is your way of fucking saying, I don't feel the same way I used to, or I realize that we're not what we used to be together. This doesn't have to be a close, like a romantic relationship, but it is definitely a sense of, I don't know, like, I don't know, feeling like you don't fit in. No, that's not what it is at all. It's almost like in some ways you feel like people don't want you around. Or you're staying behind even though you're upset with it. You're staying behind so that other people can be happy. So that's just like, okay, it's got to do something with work, and conclusions are within reach. You've been struggling with this. You've been definitely struggling with this, Sagittarius. So what are they going to decide? What should they decide? What should they decide? What should, no, this isn't the right deck. What is the right deck? What should they decide? No, that's not the right deck either. Yeah, it's like they all talk to me, and I gotta make sure that I'm getting the right voice. What are they supposed to decide? Like, what are you supposed to decide? A goddess of oneness. What does that mean? How is that? Give me a second, Sagittarius. Somebody has been admiring you, watching you, or taking care of you for a long time, or you've been doing vice versa to them. That's what Goddess of Oneness is for, that you're being watched over, you're being protected, and maybe this person felt like, I couldn't give you all I wanted to give you, and now I can. It's like you want to, somebody wants to come back. Somebody wants to come back as the person who did right by somebody. Yeah, it could be a person from your past, or it's about you in somebody's past. But it's definitely this sense of, I want to come back to do right by somebody, because ultimately it wasn't right. Whatever happened or whatever the loss was, there was a sense of injustice. What happened wasn't the right thing. It should not have happened. And so ultimately now you're making a sense, it's like, it shouldn't have happened. There's still conflict in you because you decided, you felt like you made the wrong choice. And so ultimately there's this sense of what? God, what the fuck is there a sense of? Oh, what the fuck? Sagittarius, what the fuck? What is there a sense of? Spiritual path. Your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm heading over to tarot to dig into it. I hope you guys join me, because this is it's not necessarily confusing. I know you feel it. There's definitely a certainty here, but it's almost like, yeah, I gotta clear out this shit, because if you still feel bad about something, or you still feel like you could have done better, then you gotta go after it, Sagittarius, especially if it involves taking a test or some legal shit. You got to get after it, and you got to get after it now, because right now is when you're going to be able to take this test and pass it. And if you still feel like in some ways, like I'm disappointed in myself, tried to get over it, I've tried to move on, you're not moving on from it because you aren't supposed to move on from it, because you're supposed to fucking complete it. That's what's going on. But it's like, oh, no, you have to complete this. There's something you have to finish before you're allowed to go to the next step. And that is how you are paving the path. Because now you know, and you're not afraid to know, or worried to know, or in denial to know that you made the wrong choice all those years ago, and you ain't making it again. Or somebody in your life is feeling this way for you, and that's why they have their eyes on you. So hold on. And we're going to go into tarot. I hope you guys join me.